Introduction of Rubble and Roseleaves and Things of that Kind. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information, or to volunteer, please visit librivox.org. Recording by Devora Allen. Rubble and Roseleaves by Frank W. Boreham. By way of introduction. Every man has a genius for something or other. I have a genius for a comfortable armchair and a blazing fire. Add to these two ingredients what Bob Cratchit would call a circle of congenial companions, meaning, as his considerate creator points out, a semicircle, and I am as destitute of envy as the miller of the Dee. I stipulate, however, that my companions shall be so very much to my taste, that, when in the mood, I can talk to my heart's content without seeming garrulous, and, when in the mood, can remain as silent as the Sphinx, without appearing sullen. This outrageous spasm of autobiography is necessitated as an explanation of Rubble and Roseleaves. The contents are neither essays nor sermons, nor anything of the kind. The inexhaustible patience of my readers has lured me into the habit of talking on any mortal, or immortal, subject that takes my fancy. I have merely set down here a few wayward notions that have, in the course of my wanderings, occurred to me. But, in self-defence, let me add that these outbursts have been punctuated by whole infinitudes of silence. The silences are eloquently represented by the gaps between the chapters. Frank W. Boreham. Armadale, Melbourne, Australia. Easter, 1923. End of introduction.
Part 1, Chapter 1 of Rubble and Roseleaves and Things of that Kind. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit librivox.org. Recording by Marcela Collado. Rubble and Roseleaves by Frank W. Boreham. Old Envelopes. Part 1. First, old envelopes. 3 envelopes, cruelly torn and sadly crumpled, look reproachfully up at me from the yawning abyss of my waste-paper basket. There is a heavy, pompous envelope of foolscap size, who evidently feels that I have affronted his dignity by casting him to the void in this unceremonious way. There is a thin, blue envelope, who seems to be barking out something about an account that ought to be paid. And there is a dainty little square envelope, delicately perfumed, and addressed in a lady's flowing hand. This pretty piece of stationery keeps asking in a plaintive voice if the age of chivalry is dead. Why, these envelopes want to know. Why are the letters that we brought laid so respectfully on your desk, while we, to whom you are so much in debt, are crushed and mangled and tossed disdainfully aside? Isn't an envelope as good as a letter any day? There is justice in their contention, and I take up my pen that I may tender them an apology. A letter will tell you much, but the envelope will often tell you more. I remember sitting with John Broadbanks one autumn afternoon on the broad veranda of the Moskill Manse. Some important meetings were to be held next day, and he had driven over to help me in my preparations for them. He had, moreover, arranged to stay the night. As we made our way through the various papers that would have to be dealt with next day, the gate swung open, and the postman placed a budget of letters in my hand. "Hello!" I exclaimed. "An English mail!" And excusing myself from the business on hand, I lost myself in the letters from home. I noticed that, when we returned to the agenda papers and reports, John did not seem as keen as usual. He went through the documents mechanically, languidly, perfunctorily, allowing several matters to pass that ordinarily he would have questioned. He gave me the impression of having something on his mind, and it was not until we all sat around the tea-table that I grasped the situation. Then he opened his heart to us. "I am very sorry," he said, "but if you'll let me, I think I had better return to Silverstream this evening after all. The arrival of the English mail makes all the difference. You have your letters. Mine are waiting for me at the manse. When I last heard from home, my mother was very
Sample complete. Ready to continue?